Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah! We got it! We got
You 52 books.
it! Somebody clip this for the love.
Welcome to Superman Rewatch. I'm Jared. I'm here with Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up, brother?
Oh man, you know, this episode, it really sucked the life out of me.
Yeah, I know. So today we are talking about Two's a Crowd, which is the season finale of season 1. Now, it's kind of funny. The old format of Rewatch, we would have done this as a live stream anyway, so it's kind of funny doing it now.
Yeah, now it's basically we're doing a season finale every week, so the things we do for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Because we just like hanging out with you guys a lot. So, in this episode, we see the return of Parasite, but his powers give him a little bit of a snag, i.e., when he absorbs the life of a criminal that's in a coma, he absorbs their consciousness as well. Which that's really, really, really odd, but I actually really dig this.
It's kind of like Rogue powers.
Yeah, except if Rogue actually was possessed by the person she took over.
Like, you know, with Rogue, she'll sometimes adopt the personality traits of the person, but never the full-on consciousness.
There was this great scene in the X-Men storyline called Second Coming when the X-Men are evading Super Sentinels, so they need to load Rogue up. So 5 of them touch Rogue, and she gets X-23's claws, Colossus's skin, Psylocke's powers, and Angel's wings all at once. It is so badass. That's what they don't tell you about Rogue. It's she can stack powers to him, basically become a temporary goddess.
All right, I got to quote X-Men Evolution here. My power is your power, and I can take more than one.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, anyway, about Superman.
Yeah, so in this episode, they have Parasite possess this dude because they need to find a bomb that's about to go off, and the dude that knows where it is, Earl Garver, is in a coma. So they have Parasite possess him out of necessity. And I like where he goes, I want cable TV, all the channels.
Well, you see, Jared, this was made in the 90s. And since I'm such an old man, I am going to tell you that having cable TV, especially the premium channels, is kind of a big deal. And I do give points to Parasite. This would be saying, I want both Netflix, Disney Plus, and HBO Max.
And I want HBO Max to restore the Snyderverse.
Oh, don't get too greedy there, buddy.
That would be my request if I were Parasite. So that would be me. So he reluctantly agrees, and then what I like about this is that so the possession happens, but I like how they basically kind of do it like the Hulk, where the two personalities of Garver and Rudy Jones are talking to each other in this mindscape. And by the way, what's up, Cameron Bailey? How you doing, man?
How you doing?
So it's kind of cool how they represent it.
Yeah, for sure. Like a mind palace kind of thing.
Yeah. So then we get another Superman fight, and then it resolves, and Rudy and I like how Superman tries to get Rudy to take back over, but it doesn't work. And the other thing that I was a little bit I looked askew at it is when Superman is in the ocean with Maggie Sawyer and he has his own Superman wetsuit.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem I have with the episode is I get the depowering of Superman, but in this episode, I feel like they took it a bit too far.
Like,
Especially-
space is one thing. I can understand space, but yeah.
I mean, in both instances, he needs to breathe. So I feel like they're at least being consistent. So I'll give them points for being consistent. But my thing is, especially in that opening scene where he's invading the house, like the machine gun, it is basically proven that normal gunfire is like barely affect Superman. He barely even feels it
In this universe.
or like I feel like even the depowered Superman, the bullets really shouldn't affect him like they shouldn't. He shouldn't struggle as much as he did.
Mm-hmm.
And then this next thing is, it's a bit of a actually, like, I'm going to be nerding out here for a second. When they pull the big weight on him, shouldn't the floor kind of collapse under him because he's kind of using his feet? You know, like it's still pressing down for that much weight. Shouldn't the floor itself collapse? I mean, it's an uber nerdy, like, the xylophone
That's
plays the
true,
same note
though.
as that xylophone.
That's true.
It's
That's
uber nerdy, though. It's uber
That's
nerdy.
true, though, because if you notice, like, whenever Superman is, like, lifting extremely heavy objects above the ground doesn't, like, crack or, like, he doesn't go further into the ground or anything like that. It's kind of interesting the way that works out.
Yeah, like, you could do the argument of, like, oh, it's reinforced. For one, he reinforced the outside. I don't think he reinforced the inside. And even if he did reinforce the inside, that weight is so much there should have been at least a floorboard should have cracked.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's a cartoon, and I get it. It's like these are just some of those things. And yeah, Nick, to your point, at least they were consistent with the weakened Superman and stuff. So I'm like,
the bullets, I do knock them a little bit for, but the floor stuff I'm not gonna judge them for it because it's like uber nerdy.
yeah, exactly. So essentially, Superman like stops the bomb by like throwing it into a pit, and Parasite is defeated, and Superman escapes unharmed. Now, it's kind of, and I like where Garver wakes up in the ambulance, and he like opens the door, and it's like in the air because Superman's carrying it. He's like, "What the hell is happening?"
Yeah, this film did really good setup because when it first goes in, like, oh, there's a pit, it's so deep, even you couldn't see there. You know, setting that up, and then like, oh yeah, your body's a few miles away in an ambulance. So I like that they actually took the time to set up a lot of the plot details.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the episode thing. We only have one piece of trivia. Yeah, go ahead.
I like at the end they actually kept the promise and they gave him his cable TV.
Yeah, I love that. And because Superman's an honorable guy, he's going to do that.
Also, so I just have to say one thing. The cable thing kind of reminded me of Suicide Squad and Killer Croc, like, but I tell you.
Yeah, you mean the stupid thing that WB actually added? That wasn't David Ayer.
Oh.
But the white markings on the Parasite appear to be some kind of garments, as Superman is able to touch them without losing his powers. So it's probably like some covering or something like that.
Possibly.
Which that works. I like that. So all in all, pretty dope episode. I would rank it a solid. Since it has those logical inconsistencies, like with the bullet, I'm going to give it like an 8 out of 10.
I'm going to be quite harsh on this. Logical inconsistencies, plus as a season finale, it's a letdown. It is very like as a season finale. It feels like an ordinary episode of Superman. So they're ending the season with a whimper. 7.5.
Oh, okay, 7.5. That's not that bad there.
I mean, mine is added because as a season finale, it's kind of weak.
Yeah, it's not like there's this big like plot that's ended.
There's no conclusion. There's no conclusion. There's no like like capstone. It's basically just another episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even like a good episode at that.
Yeah. So with that, I think we're good to transfer over to our just general Q&A and just hang out section of the show. You guys can ask us whatever questions are on your minds. But Nick, so what do you want to bring up?
What did you think of the first season of Superman the Animated Series overall?
I liked it. There was a lot of really fun stuff. They didn't use Lois that much, and that made me happy.
That would have been lame.
Yeah, that would have been very lame. And yeah, it's actually really, really fun. Now, season 2 is going to be a lot of other characters showing up, including a certain Bat character.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a.
At least I think season 2 is the Batman one.
Is World's Finest?
Yeah, I think season 2 is World's Finest. I may be wrong. That's why I'm checking it right now. But yeah, what did you think of season 1?
I think it was okay. I mean, it was specifically designed each episode to be standalone, so I'm not going to knock off points for the show is doing what it intended to do. Like, they never intended to have a season long storyline or whatever, so I'm not going to knock it points when it did exactly what it wanted to, you know.
And I can confirm that World's Finest is in season 2.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
As is Apocalypse Now, one of my favorite arcs. So that's going to be really funny. It's kind of funny. Again, Nick and I were planning on making that a live stream anyway. So do you guys think Parasite makes a great Superman first villain? Yes. Honestly, this is the villain I wish they went with for the James Gunn Superman movie, because here's why. It allows you to keep things relatively small scale. Hey, what's up, Barry Allen? Which is interesting because the past few Superman movies have gone relatively like big scale with their plots. But if you go with Parasite, you can keep it kind of small. Plus, Parasite's a villain that Superman has to like exercise his mind because he can't punch Parasite.
Yeah, I disagree with that slightly. I think Parasite is a great second movie villain. Like, Parasite is great for when, all right, we've had our first movie, we established character, we established powers. Now let's take them away.
Okay, that kind of
it's got that great like first sequel kind of stuff to it. It's a great kind of escalation of action. You know, for a first, honestly, I think Metallo possibly would make a good first. I wish, I wish they had followed through with the Metallo storyline they were clearly planning in the Snyderverse.
Yeah. By the way, Barry Allen asked actually a good point. How would Parasite do as a Wonder Woman villain? Now, here's the funny part. So when I watch, Superpowered Beatdown, or actually it wasn't Beatdown. I think it was the Death Battle. Did Wonder Woman versus Rogue. Now, here's the thing. At first, the DC fan in my head was like, no way Rogue would beat Wonder Woman. Then I remembered Wonder Woman's costume exposes too much skin, and Rogue just has to touch her somewhere to drain her.
Also, the other thing is, even without Rogue's powers, like, her skill set kind of still puts her as a match for Wonder Woman. Because remember, Rogue can still fly, Rogue has the strength, Rogue has the stuff. So even without the draining, like, she can at least hold her own against Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Joseph, I got to say, this is one of the occasions where I say I got to give this to Marvel because, yeah, exactly. Even without the draining, Rogue has Captain Marvel powers. So you basically have that. Then you add in the ability to, like, drain the life force of Wonder Woman. Yeah, I got to give this to Rogue.
Let's pretend you actually put some pants and sleeves on Wonder Woman. Then I think she could win.
Then Wonder Woman wins. Like, if they gave her the new 52 golden red suit that they gave her near the end of it.
Speaking of that, just give her the golden armor.
Or that, yeah, 100%. And like have her wear like gloves and maybe even a faceplate so no skin is revealed. Yeah, I got to give this to Wonder Woman because at that point, if you take away the draining, yes, Rogue is powerful, but Wonder Woman is straight up a warrior.
Like, it's not a curb stomp. Like
no.
Without the draining, it's still not a curb stomp. But it's like Wonder Woman wins at least 8 out of 10 times.
I'll give you that. I will agree to that. 8 out of 10 times it's Wonder Woman. because of her upbringing and training, because Rogue is not trained to the level Wonder Woman is.
Rogue is a scrapper. Rogue is a brawler.
Yeah,
basically.
and that's fine. And Wonder Woman has defeated many scrappers in her time, but she's also gotten her ass kicked by scrappers. So that's why I say 8 out of 10 actually is very fair. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But so what other questions do you guys have for us? It can even be about who would make a good Wonder Woman villain or whatever you guys want to know.
But as far as like the Parasite Wonder Woman, like I basically see it going down the same way that Superman did. Parasite touches her, gets her powers, and then kind of the same thing. So it's
actually so in the new 52 Superman Wonder Woman book by Tomasi, they did this arc where Superman is like trying to like break to like they need Parasite to like find a prison because Parasite can like read energy. I don't know. It was really convoluted. So, but Parasite needed to power up. So Wonder Woman just takes off her glove, holds Parasite's hand for like a time so he can charge up, and then Parasite holds on too long, so Superman's like, "That's it." It was really, that's one of the few good moments of the Tomasi run. Cameron asks, actually, I have an interesting one. Who would be your first Wonder Woman villain? I'm not gonna go with Cheetah or Ares because I want to go with something different. I would go with.
I think Dr. Poison was a good first Wonder Woman villain. Having Ares in the I think Ares in the mix was a little bit too much, but just straight Dr. Poison was actually kind of interesting.
That would have been cool, and that would have worked. I would actually go with Dr. Psycho because you could play with more on the toxic. So, okay, Dr. Psycho is the small guy that's like a sexual deviant.
Can I have an idea.
Okay.
So, you know who I would love to see go up against Wonder Woman?
Who?
Scarecrow.
Actually,
it's not a Wonder Woman villain, but Scarecrow's power set would make for a really good Wonder Woman story.
And you could go introspection. I wonder why Tom King hasn't done that yet. Yeah, exactly. That would be really fun.
Like, imagine Wonder Woman gets like the fear toxin, and she's facing a Hippolyta in her prime. Kind of, it's like,
she gets exposed to the fear toxin. Goes, I have to be written by Tom King.
I didn't know the fear toxin gives you fourth wall breaking powers, but okay.
Yeah, it does. Barry Allen says, if you could have written Diana into Superman the Animated Series without overhauling it too much, how would you do it? Well, you don't really have to overhaul it that much because they do so many episodes where other characters show up.
Okay, here's the storyline. All right.
Okay.
So basically, they're opening up a Themysciran embassy in Metropolis. All right. And Clark and Lois are going to cover it, and so they meet. They go there, and the ambassador. Clark starts talking to the ambassador's assistant, a Miss Diana Prince, and
why is she the assistant?
It's more just like trying to get. She wants to interact more with like. Because Hippolyta is actually the ambassador.
That doesn't work.
Okay, somebody else is the ambassador because Diana wanted to interact with people more on like a lower level. She didn't want to be like.
She still does though.
No, okay. Actually, let me rewrite this on the fly then. So they're talking with what they think is the ambassador's assistant, Diana Prince. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Wonder Woman is the ambassador. Her assistant is Diana Prince. Okay, so she creates the Diana Prince identity so that she can interact with humans on their level. All right,
that works. The way I would do it is similar idea, but they're at the Metropolis Museum. They're opening an exhibition on ancient Greek culture and like and like mythology, if you will.
And off to the side, you see a statue of me in the toga.
Oh, you in the toga? No, you're way too old for that. It'd be like you in like a mammoth somewhere. Anyway,
Oh, I'm in the caveman exhibit. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So then Clark is like, look at this, and so there's a beautiful woman looking at a statue, and Clark is looking at the statue as well, and then she goes, beautiful statue, and then they get talking, and then it turns out Clark didn't know it yet because she just got here, but like they're opening up I'm gonna bridge it to your idea of the Themysciran embassy, except he didn't know he was talking to the ambassador.
Okay, quick addendum. So he's looking at a statue, and then all of a sudden this woman comes up and says, "You know it's a fake, right?"
Are you doing Batman versus Superman?
Yes.
Except reverse it and make it the logical ship. Yes, you can do that.
Okay. I love how I didn't even get to finish the sentence, and you picked up on it.
All right, can I say there's a moment in S-Task. I'm going to spoil it because this is like really like egregious. This shows how much care they put into their canon. So Wonder Woman does not exist yet in the universe. Justice League is where she first shows up. So at one point, Clark Kent is like talking to someone, and the person says something very unbelievable. So Lois goes, "Yeah, right, and I'm Wonder Woman."
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's Lois will say that in the show. I'm not sure if it's season 2 or 3, but she will say that, and I'm like, what?
Wait. I think it's like Wonder Woman was doing stuff in World War II, so
not in this year. Well, as
time
far
travel.
At the time when the Superman show was coming out, that made no sense. And they never called her Wonder Woman in the Savage Time episode of Justice League. Maybe they just didn't figure out. Oh, so there was a theory that Hippolyta was Wonder Woman who served on World War II. But that does, I see what you're saying, Cameron, but it doesn't align with what happened in Justice League. Because if Hippolyta was Wonder Woman in World War II, she should have run into Diana. That would have been cool. Though.
Okay, here's your evidence. Is Hephaestus says, "I made that armor for your mother."
Yeah, but it does, as far as we know, it wasn't worn.
It doesn't not. It doesn't disprove it though. It's a very
Yeah, but here's the problem though. If Hippolyta is serving in World War II, none of the soldiers mention, "Oh yeah, she looks just like that blonde chick."
I'm just saying she was Wonder Woman at some point. She could have been Wonder Woman during the Trojan War for all we knew.
Here's the problem with that though: when the Justice League show up, none of them even identify her as Wonder Woman, or because you would think if Wonder Woman exists at that point, it'd be in the history books.
But it could have been it was so small scale that history never recorded her. Let's say
someone would have talked. Someone would have talked.
I mean, in a pre-mass media era, especially if it's 1400s.
Okay. Let me have an addendum. Batman would have known.
If history would have never recorded it.
No, Batman would have figured it out. Trust me. Batman would have figured it out. The point is, this doesn't make sense.
You don't make sense, sir.
Bruce Timm does not make sense. So there you go.
Okay, that I agree with.
There you go. Barry asks, how do you feel about Lois in Superman the Animated Series? I think she's one of the best versions, possibly better than the comics. Definitely better than the comics.
Oh.
Because, I've long said, I tolerate to I go from tolerate to like TV show and movie Lois. It's comic book Lois I hate with the force of 1,000 dying stars.
The only 2 TV Loises that I will not allow you to disrespect are 3 actually. Are Amy Adams, Erica Duras, and Superman and Lois.
Yeah, but again, I like TV and movie Lois, hate comic Lois. That's always been my addendum in terms of my Lois hatred.
You're not allowed to like Erica Duras and Smallville. You're not allowed to.
No. Nick, I know. But what other questions do you guys have about Superman or Wonder Woman? How Nick and I would have done a crossover for something?
One thing, this is more of a comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
But one thing I find interesting, if we're gonna compare and contrast Rogue and Parasite, is Parasite just gets powers and memories. Rogue also gets the skills of the person. So there is, like honestly, like for example, she could touch Ollie, and all of a sudden she's a master archer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's demonstrated that ability on multiple occasions. That is
Or she touches Batman and all of a sudden has contingency plans for all of the X-Men.
No. She touches Batman. All of a sudden, she has a sudden attraction for Wonder Woman. I could have gone a lot cringier, brother.
I know you could have said all of a sudden she feels an attraction toward much younger men.
I was gonna, while say if I wanted to be really cringy, all of a sudden he suddenly has an attraction to Barbara Gordon, but you know.
No, there's still some there. But anyway, what other questions do you guys have? It could be about anything really. It beyond beyond like Superman the animated series, just whatever you guys want to talk about.
What would you give season 1 overall rating wise?
I would give it a solid rating of like 8 to 9 out of 10 because all in all, there are some weak moments, but it's actually a really solid debut season. What do you think?
I would give it the same. I'd give it an 8. Overall, it kind of bats slightly above average. Even the valleys are really not that low. There's no outright terrible episodes. There are some subpar ones. But there's really no like, oh my god, I hate this episode kind of things.
Mm-hmm. Which is nice. And in Justice League, there were a few episodes where I'm like, why the hell did you do this? And luckily with season 1, there hasn't been that. And I'm not sure about season 2, but we will surely get there and see what happens with that.
All right, I have a challenge for you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Name 3 characters that are lamer than Lois Lane.
Steve Trevor. Can I include Marvel characters as well?
Any comic book character.
All right, Steve Trevor, Snowflake, Safe Space. How many do you want?
Okay. Snowflake and Safe Space. That's too easy. They're not allowed.
Okay. Punchline.
Okay.
Joe Green Lantern, Joe Mullins, Teen Lantern, John Kent, Jay Nakamura, Dreamer, Amanda Waller, Peacemaker. Amanda Waller. She's overused to the point where I'm like, I never want to see her face again.
Interesting. That is interesting.
Probably.
DC's trying to make her into their version of Nick Fury, and it's not working.
It's very much not working, because Nick Fury at least is less of an a-hole than Amanda Waller.
Yeah, Nick Fury is a person who leads by inspiration. Amanda Waller is just kind of a bully.
She leads through fear, if you will, and I don't like that. And plus, Peacemaker, you know I hate Peacemaker.
I have one for you. Imagine if Amanda Waller got a Yellow Lantern ring.
No, please don't make her cool. Probably. Let's see. What's another good one? So, what other like cringe topics do you want me to give?
All right. How about you ask me a question, sir?
Okay. What would you say are the top 5 worst characters in DC Comics?
In DC Comics, okay.
And then I have a follow-up for you.
Well, Lois Lane's not on that list.
Hey, you're on my show, sir.
Oh, and that did exactly what it's intended to do. All right, Guy Gardner.
Okay.
I just think his whole characterization is, I'm the a-hole Green Lantern. It's a bit one note.
And where everyone tries to put him in the bowl cut, which is stupid. I hate that bowl cut.
Yeah. I've seen some comic books that actually use a pretty interesting, make him an interesting character, but that's the exception rather than the norm.
What's another one?
Wait, what's the question is worst DC characters or my personal least favorite?
In your opinion, what are the worst DC Comics characters?
Sorry, you're making me think for a moment. A lot of them.
In the meantime, by the way, in the chat, what do you think are the worst DC Comics characters?
All right, I'm gonna get some controversy for this.
Oh,
Lobo, I find him to be very annoying.
Yeah, I kind of give you that. What are your thoughts on Maxima from S-Test? We haven't gotten to that episode yet, but Rebel Fox N, when we get there, I'll be sure to reference that for sure. She is in this season, by the way, so there's that.
All right.
Give me like two or three more. The characters that annoy the crap out of you, that when they show up, you're like, oh god.
This is gonna be really controversial, but Harley Quinn, she just, I like
point. Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
She's way too oversaturated, way too oversaturated.
Because DC was trying to turn her into their Deadpool, even though they have multiple Deadpools.
Exactly. Damian, when he first appeared.
Yeah. You know what's kind of funny? When I first got the first Grant Morrison, by the way, so iPro DC says Lois Lane, Steve Trevor, John Stewart. Wow.
Also, I'm gonna fight back. I don't think Steve Trevor is like the like. I know that you have like this hate boner because you only hate Steve Trevor because he's in the way of your Super Wonder.
No, that's it's because he's a lazy stalker. He's an emotionally manipulative a-hole, as is shown in that page that I gave you right there, where he's like, where he's like, I know that you just lost a bunch of people that you care about from like cheat and stuff, but I'm gonna break up with you because you're not giving me enough attention.
I mean, every character has bad interpretations, but like for me,
Steve Trevor has the most. He was a stalker in the new 52, which is the current version.
I mean, to be fair, look at what new DC Comics has done to Mr. Freeze. So,
yeah. Oh, also, Cameron says punchline. I absolutely hate because, in my opinion, after Harley leaves Joker, he should not have a sidekick. True. And Cameron says also Harley because, as you all said, DC already has multiple Deadpools. Yeah, and that show just made me hate her more.
This is going to be a bit of a deep cut, but NITE Wing. It's a character from the Dixon run where this guy called NITE Wing, Nightwing, different spelling, starts to become a vigilante, and so Dick Grayson kind of takes him under his wing as his own Robin, and then NITE kills a person. It's kind of like a Jason Todd. He basically kind of gets like his own kind of Robin situation. It's really.
So does he become Red Nightwing?
No, it's like a rogue kind of thing.
I'm just kidding.
It's during the Dixon run.
That's a good run.
So, yeah, I'm gonna send you the cover for it here in a second.
Now, let me ask you this: what would you say are are your least favorite stories in DC?
Oh, that one where Blockbuster dies.
Which one was that?
Where Tarantula comes and
oh yeah. Mine are anything written by Tom King. In terms of this DCYOU, I count that as a storyline because that kind of was. I would say Amazon's Attack.
Sent you it, by the way.
What?
Twitter.
Oh, okay. Superman, Batman Generations, where John Byrne had Superman make out with a 14-year-old, and basically Death of Superman for what it did to comics in general.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's NITE Wing. Yeah, I'm sharing this right now. I'm pulling this up.
By the way,
Mhm.
we need to review Volume 2 of Nightwing on Comics Watch sometime soon.
At some point, yeah, that's cool. So this is NITE Wing. Wow.
Yeah, so
Amazing.
it's a well done story, but the character is just the worst.
He looks very lame, almost like Lois.
He is very lame, but it's kind of interesting because they give Nightwing his own Robin, and the guy, he kills a person. Like, I think he kills like an undercover cop or something, and it's a good story, but the character is just the worst.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. So
Also,
what's another? Yeah, go ahead.
Terra from Teen Titans. Oh my freaking god!
Great storyline or worst character?
Great storyline, worst character. Like,
Okay.
her entire storyline is basically she was conceived because there was like a thing like, oh, Teen Titans just a ripoff of X-Men, and then Chris Claremont came out and said the only thing they have in common is that they used to be popular, then canceled and brought back and are even more popular. Chris Claremont said, basically telling everyone to shut the F up.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Class act. And so basically, and then they introduced Kitty Pryde into the X-Men. And so basically, Marv Wolfman kind of wanted to do his own Kitty Pryde, but what if they were a villain? And so that's the entire genesis of the Judas Contract storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with Tara is if you actually read the comic, she is the worst. She is rude, inconsiderate, even when she's with the Titans. Like, I don't even know why they put up with it. Like, her heel turn, it just, like, you see it coming a mile away. And that's kind of why I like the Teen Titans 03 version better, because they make her a lot nicer. And plus her relationship with Beast Boy. So when it happens, like, even though you know it's going to happen, you have, like, Beast Boy is getting his heart broken. And so it kind of hits harder.
Yeah, exactly. And also, let's not forget they tried to make Deathstroke and Terra. Yeah. I'm like, oh no, I don't like that. And when they referenced that in the Decamu, I was like, oh no.
At least they had Deathstroke rebuff her in the Decamu. At least give them some credit. They made it slightly better.
Yeah, I just came back, and your description made me think of Batwoman. Can't stand her. Interesting. Well, are you talking about Batwoman post the show or in the show, or Batwoman as a character? Because the character herself is actually pretty cool. It's when you get to the show that she turns into a dumpster fire. And that's actually a very so.
I actually liked.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So the most I saw of Batwoman was in Decamu, and she's actually done very well in the Decamu.
Oh yes, she was awesome in the Decamu. I actually have a couple of her issues, and I'm thinking of picking up more of her comics because she actually is really cool. Like Nick, this was one of the few Rebirth books that I liked, and you know how hard it is for me to compliment DC Rebirth. She was so in the Detective Comics run, they had Batman and her form a team of like Stephanie Brown, Tim Drake, and Clayface to like police Gotham a little more effectively as a team. It was really cool.
Okay.
And you got a little bit more into Clayface's character. Like, he was trying to be a good guy. Obviously, it didn't last, but it was actually really, really cool. And then their first villain was Kate Kane's father, that had an entire military organization called the Batmen, and he was trying to replace Batman and turn Gotham into a police state.
All right, so here's my question. This goes both to you and the chat. What comic book storylines do you think we should review either for your channel or mine? This goes out to you or
Superman, Wonder Woman power couple on your thing, because I think you would actually enjoy that.
Well, that's more of a your channel kind of thing.
I still think it would bring a lot of attention to your channel too at some point.
Yeah, the thing is, on my channel, there's a crap ton of like stories that I want to cover, so it has to be something that I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Actually, you did get the first issue of Wonder Woman by George Perez, and that is a beloved run.
Yeah, I'd rather just wait to have the full run before reviewing it.
Okay.
I don't like to review individual issues unless they're like really important individual issues. Like, I can maybe see us covering the Nightwing issue where Blockbuster dies, just because there's a lot to talk about. Also, I could just see myself covering Avengers 200 and inviting Nick on.
You have to have Nick's on
no,
that.
No. Here's the joke. So we invited on, and then we both reveal, oh yeah, Nick's. Neither of us actually read it. You're reviewing Avengers 200.
That would be the joke. I got one, Nick. Court of Owls.
Okay, possibly.
Yeah.
My thing is, I just don't want to turn myself into the Batman channel, though.
Because I was thinking of at least doing well, I'm also talking about my channel, because I was thinking of doing a retrospective of the Scott Snyder run for Batman. I will be before you guys ask, I will be doing a retrospective of the Jeff Johns Green Lantern run. When you guys ask, I'm doing it.
When are we covering the new 52 Super Wonder run?
I just suggested that.
Oh, never mind.
I literally just suggested that.
One thing I would be kind of interesting if you're doing if you do insist on like doing New 52, I would cover Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Okay, I could do that because I didn't really check. That's serious. I haven't read before, so that would actually be really fun.
Well, that actually would be kind of interesting if we did like a New 52 event where where basically a bunch of channels cover the New 52 for like a week or something. And like there's some crossovers between like you, me, Nicotina, lots of other channels just kind of do like New 52 stuff.
Well, that would have been good to do this because Talani and I are talking about the New 52.
We can talk about it later. That requires planning.
Yeah, but anyway, I was going to suggest that. Yeah, a lot of the like Green Lantern and Batman stuff retrospective, I am going to do for sure.
I know as far as the comic stories that I want to cover, the Frank Miller Daredevil, I definitely want to do. Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man, both Ultimate Spider-Mans actually. Probably do some more of the Chuck Dixon Nightwing, because Jared actually really enjoyed that. Maybe do some more Teen Titans, like New Teen Titans Volume 2. Possibly.
I know what I'm gonna do, but I've opened my eyes. Superman is actually a boring character. If you make him, he's a mildly interesting character. Wait. Do you mean that if we managed Superman, he'd be interesting? In which case, I'm gonna take it as a compliment. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to review Amazon's Attack.
Oh God, why are you doing that to yourself?
For the hilarious content, Nick, because it would basically be me, probably Jay Heat, because he hates that storyline, falling into madness. Another thing I'm definitely going to do is maybe like nearer in like November, December, when Creature Commandos comes out, I'm going to cover the comic book that was listed as the main reference for it. You guys actually make it more interesting to me. Oh, thank you, Kirby. That's very appreciative. I like that.
Yeah, we need to look up.
Nick, I have one I would like to suggest for you.
Okay.
New 52 Nightwing, because I would love to see your critiques of him.
Okay, so I did read the first 12 issues when it came out, and I dropped it because, it was just the same story. Like, it felt like they were just kind of playing on treaded ground. It just felt like the same stuff over again.
Okay. I got one. This is New 52. This is an incredible run on Deathstroke. I'm going to cover it at least.
Okay.
Where he gets de-aged, and at one point he travels to Themyscira and fights a god with the God Killer sword. And fights Wonder Woman, as a matter of fact. It's actually really cool. And so, anyway, beyond that, what other storylines do you guys want us to cover? Because there's plenty of really...
I know for me...
and before you guys ask, I will be doing Squadron Supreme because Nick won't let me do it.
Yeah, that's a your channel thing. So for me, Jeff Johns' Teen Titans, I thought was pretty good. Probably the '90s Young Justice. I think it's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. That would work. That'd be fun. But in terms of like, so what other questions do you guys have for us? It could be on. Oh, what's your guys' opinion on Shadow Shadow of the Batman? What is that? Do you mean Shadow of the Bat? Oh, okay. Here we go. I mean, the series, two Batman classics by Steve Englehart and Walter Simonson. It's a 5-issue limited series published on the DC Deluxe format. I never read it. Interesting. No, Shadow the Hedgehog is Batman. He kind of is Batman.
There's an animation somebody did of that, and it's really good.
Yeah, I could definitely see him be Batman.
Oh, speaking of Batman, we need to cover some of the Neil Adams era of Batman for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see here. As far as Marvel comics, trying to think. At some point, we're gonna have to do the Clone Saga. That's probably gonna be like a 3-parter.
That'll be hilarious. So DC and Sonic collabed. They did? That is interesting. That is really cool. That's a pretty decent crossover. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give you guys this. What's your favorite comic book crossover with one of the big two and another group? Because I'm liking Aliens Avengers.
X-Men and Teen Titans, which, by the way, we need to cover that.
I enjoy Batman Predator is actually really cool. Any of the Predator one, except for Justice League Predator, because that was the one where like the Dominators managed to like kidnap Predators, Nick, give them the powers of the Justice League, and then they get loose. Like there's a Plastic Man
That's
Predator.
Really stupid.
There's a Plastic Man Predator that morphs into a fighter jet, and he and Plastic Man have an air battle.
That's really stupid.
There's a Batman Predator, Nick, and he doesn't have any powers. It's really stupid.
Oh, God.
The official Sonic account posted Happy Batman Day. And what did you guys do for Batman Day? Because I got some books.
I streamed Batman, and it was very successful.
That's fun. So I got Superman versus Muhammad Ali. So what this is, I just flipped through this. This is actually a recreation of I think the first appearance of Ra's al Ghul.
Jared, I sent you a crossover that I think is a really cool idea and concept.
Let me see. Star Trek and Doctor Who. Interesting. That actually worked in concept. You know what they did? Speaking of Star Trek, they did Star Trek Green Lantern. And it takes place. So in this world that it takes place in, Blackest Night happened, but the heroes lost, and the lanterns were teleported to the Star Trek universe, but they're in the Kelvin timeline Star Trek universe.
Yeah, that's the only timeline that exists currently.
But yeah, go ahead.
I really want to see the Flash and Sonic crossover so bad.
Yeah, even though the Flash is clearly faster.
But I'm sorry that would be such a great crossover.
That would be really fun. They have a race around the world, kind of like when Superman the Flash raced. By the way, that episode is coming up.
No. You know what? It would be an alternate cover. The two of them having a chili dog eating contest.
And you know what they could also do? They could recreate the Flash of Two Worlds cover, but with Flash and Sonic.
Okay, I need to commission somebody to do that so badly.
Yeah, you can't tell me no one's going to make that suggestion. You just can't.
Oh, God, yes. Someone will make that suggestion. Oh, that needs to... Oh, my God, that is... I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. What like Marvel DC characters would you like to see crossover? Because I could see... Because obviously... Actually, you know what? I'm going to give you this. Wonder Woman versus the Predator.
I got one for you.
All right, go ahead.
Elektra joins the League of Assassins.
Yes, that would work. That would 110%.
I mean,
work.
The Hand is essentially the Marvel League of Assassins. So
yeah, and yeah, exactly. That would actually work. And then they form a new organization called the Torso.
I mean, if they wanted to go even lower, they can call themselves the Foot Clan.
No. That's already copywritten. Or the Fingers.
But you get the joke I'm making.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. What Predator crossovers with DC would you want to do? I'm not going to do Wonder Woman or Superman. I'm going to try something new.
Oh God, Jared, Predator.
Mhm.
Like I love the first Predator Batman. I've read that.
Yes.
It's so good.
You know why? Because it's a Batman book that you put a Predator into it. That's the best. That's why Predator 2 is so great, or like Predator 1, because they were just like a military movie and then a cop movie, and then you just put a Predator in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with, if I have to go with a really dope Predator crossover that involves DC characters, I would give it. I don't want to do Green Lantern. Actually, you know what? Yes, Green Lantern, because then the Predator gets a yellow lantern ring.
Predator and Red Hood.
I was considering that because that actually works out really well. So my pitch for Predator, my new pitch for Predator Wonder Woman, I have a new one.
Oh, no. I have a good one. I have a really good one.
Okay, go ahead.
Predator Green Arrow. And it's while Ollie is on the island.
Okay, that's awesome. That is really good. That is, and then he kills the Predator, or like it goes, or like it retreats or something like that, and that's why the Predator wasn't found when Ollie was picked up.
And no, and the best part is when the Predator blows up his spaceship, that's what signals, like, that's what gets the boat's attention to come rescue him.
Oh, dude!
DC, hire me.
That's what's called a hashtag full circle moment right there.
But by the way, I would totally recreate the scene with Ollie.
Yeah, what you could do is have him say, "You have failed this island."
Oh God, no.
Yes, and Nick has a great idea, and I ruin it. That's normally the way this works. But so what other Predator crossovers you in the chat would you like to see? Predator Joker, where the Predator breathes in Joker toxin. Oh no, Predator and Scarecrow, and the Predator breathes in the Scarecrow thing, but it does nothing.
No. What it is the crew of the Nostromo. They're actually transporting a person in a cryotube, and the cryotube starts to malfunction. Out walks Dr. Crane, and so instead of fighting the xenomorph, they fight Scarecrow.
And the xenomorph that they see is just the manifestation of their fears from the Scarecrow fear toxin.
Yes,
that works. Rebel Fox Zen says, "How about a respectable fight? How about a respectable fight over would be Superman? So Superman versus the Hulk. All right." Superman has to end that fight fast, because the thing about the Hulk is the longer the fight goes on, the angrier he gets, and the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets.
Yeah, and also Doomsday is kind of on Hulk's level, so the Hulk actually does have a chance of beating Superman in this equation.
It depends on who's writing it, because Doomsday was created just to kill Superman with that goal in mind.
But all he really did was trade punches with Superman. And he tank punched Superman, and then he gave punches to Superman. He basically punched the life out of him, which is essentially what the Hulk would do. So, you know.
And then later on, DC would have Superboy Prime punch Red Hood back to life. So full circle moment.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe that is such a comic book thing to do. I'm like, wow, guys. But so what other quick questions do you guys have for us?
So I got one for you. There's this intergalactic crossover, and Superman runs into Goku. They go get a burger, they talk, and they choose a team up. They don't actually fight.
Yeah, because everyone knows that if Goku and Superman fought, Superman wins.
At best, they do some friendly sparring.
Yeah. And then Goku goes, I've seen you give some looks to that hot Amazon.
Because, I'm sorry, there is, unless one of them is evil, Goku would not, actually try to, beat the crap out of him. He might be like, hey, Superman, I wonder who's stronger. We should fight. But it would be a friendly fight kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you on that one.
But can you imagine Goku and Superman? Okay. Goku and Superman versus Darkseid and Frieza.
I have no idea how powerful Freeze is. That's the thing.
I don't. That's a J Heat question, but God,
that is a J Heat question. But Goku and Superman against Darkseid, Darkseid's body is being destroyed.
Yeah.
Because here's what I mean by that. Here's what a little known thing about Darkseid. What you see as Darkseid is just the physical embodiment of the god. Darkseid is actually ridiculously powerful.
So, if you ever Jared, you do realize if anyone who teams up with Superman and Goku would literally have the power of God and anime on their side.
Yeah, exactly. You would have a man. You know what you would have? A man who's defined by by pushing his limits, and a man that has no limits against each other.
Barry Allen has a good question.
Yeah, what would you guys think about a crossover ship of Wonder Woman, Captain America? That would kind of work because first off, Captain America is a good Steve as opposed to Steve Trevor, but Captain America is
Steve.
Yes, thank you. Captain America, when you think about it, is the closest in terms of characterization to Superman that Marvel has.
Yeah, I could see them working.
In terms of characterization, I could also see a really fun relationship between Thor and Wonder Woman because here's why. They both understand, first off, they're both gods, but they both understand the pressures of the throne and balancing being a superhero and being a royal. So I think that would be actually a really cool storyline.
Okay, I have one for you. Do you think Nat, Black Widow, and Wonder Woman would get along?
As friends? Sure. I think so at a certain point. I think it would be a little bit of playful ribbing, but I think Wonder Woman would see her as a capable sister. Because can you imagine Wonder Woman? They have a storyline where Wonder Woman has to infiltrate a place, and Natasha has to teach her how to be a ninja. Hey, what's up, Tavia? How you doing?
Oh, I got one for you, Jared. How would you feel if Catwoman ended up in the Marvel Universe and started crossing paths with Daredevil?
I think she would go, well, I'm never going to see Bruce again. You're close. You're like a blind Bruce, so it's close enough.
I think they would get along. I think
they definitely would. Tevia says, how would you do a crossover with Alien and Wonder Woman? That is a good question. All right, so what I would do, it involves the island. I like to keep it on the island because here's why. If you put the aliens on Earth, they're a plague. But if you keep them on an island, it's more of a case of it being contained. So the way I would see it is Wonder Woman returns to Themyscira. At the same time, the gods want to play one of their games with the Amazon, so they drop an alien egg there, and that starts the whole thing. That's where at least I would do it. I am doing good. I did see Transformers 1, and that was fun. Transformers 1 is the best Transformers movie of all time, bar none. Better than the 1980s movie. More on that on movie night this week, where we also reveal the pain that Jay Heat and Taladia are going to endure in the month of October.
I'm trying to think of more really good comic and anime crossovers.
Let's see, comic and anime. Well, they technically already have one. Nick, have you heard of Project AKO?
No, I'm cringing right now.
All right, so what this is. So there's this character. It's like a comedy superhero anime. So this girl is actually, when you think about it and you look at the lore and then the character designs, this character is the daughter of Superman and Wonder Woman. It's the unofficial official daughter of Superman and Wonder Woman.
Okay.
It's really funny. How do you guys feel about DC making the Superboy era canon again? They did? I'm okay, if they can figure out a way to make the canon work with that, then I'm okay, there you go. I can kind of see how you're going to roll with that. What else do you have there for questions and answers and everything?
Have you seen the Ninja Turtles Naruto crossover comic they're doing?
No, I have not. What do you think of that?
I think it's cool. I've never really got into Naruto too much, but it's a thing.
Okay, there you go. That's fun. Question: how would you do a crossover with Spawn and his team versus the Justice League? I'm not as versed on Spawn and his team, so I can't really answer that.
Oh, here's one for you. What character would you love to see Spawn crossover with that he hasn't already crossover with?
Okay, because I was gonna say Batman, Wonder Woman, because I think the reason I keep saying Wonder Woman is because she could have a really fun time with a lot of characters. Probably Witchblade. I'm sure he probably has, so I can't really say
Constantine is my pick.
Yes, that works. Of all the characters that, or like any of the Justice League Dark really would work well for him.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? What other questions do you guys have? What other points you want to make? How about a fight between Hulk and Black Canary?
No, She-Hulk wins.
She-Hulk and Black Canary.
She-Hulk wins.
She-Hulk wins because She-Hulk has the power, while Black Canary has the scream. She-Hulk has the relative invulnerability. So
okay, and also the strength. Okay, but here's a good question: what female DC character would you have go up against She-Hulk?
What DC character would I have go up against She-Hulk?
Yeah, female.
I'm not gonna say Wonder Woman because that's the obvious answer.
That would be a good fight, though.
It would be a good fight, 100%. I would have to go with Maxima.
Or Big Barda.
Or Big Barda. So it would be Gina Carano against whoever played She-Hulk in the MCU. In which case, I give it to Barda because Barda's actually played by an MMA person. Well, fun fact about that. Yeah, I know she crossed over with Witchblade. She crossed over with Wonder Woman.
Oh, Barbara Gordon got the Witchblade. That is interesting.
Oh, I got a crossover that we really need to see at one point.
Imagine if Wonder Woman got the Witchblade.
She did. They did a JLA Witchblade comic and Wonder Woman got the Witchblade.
I need to see a picture of this for research purposes.
Yes. I will pull that up right now, as a matter of fact.
Please, for the love of God, I need to see this. For research purposes, purely.
They don't go full on into the sexual outfit and stuff, but here's kind of what it looks like. And I will zoom in, but here you go. Hang on. Okay. Here is the cover.
Oh God, that is like the best thing I've ever seen.
Isn't that great?
They got Mike Turner to draw it too. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. See, there you go. Yeah, Witchblade crossed over with everyone. By the way, I'm going to give the compliments to Top Cow right now. I have read the first. I put the new Witchblade relaunch on my pull list, and I'm happy to report they respect the canon and the lore. It's like a reboot, but they keep the relative sexiness of the costume.
All right, so here's a question for you: if you were to do a crossover with Top Cow, which one of your characters would get the Witchblade?
With me?
Yeah.
Well, I only have 2 female characters, so it's either Thalassa or Athena. Thalassa, I think, would cross over more with Fathom because they're both waterborne characters, but I could see Athena with the Witchblade.
It's going to be fun when we have our crossover.
Yeah, that's going to be really good.
Because your water character fights my water character,
Yeah. Question. I need opinion on the Darkness video games. I've never played those.
You need to.
They're constantly on sale on Xbox, so I may pick them up.
Yeah, they're comic related, so I think you should do it for your live stream.
I may factor that in. It just see. Here's the thing: just because they're comic related doesn't mean people will show up for it. But I may do it as like an experimental stream. One thing's for sure is that when I get a gaming PC and get God of War, I'm gonna be streaming that. That's for sure.
Boy.
Yeah, and by the way, Kratos would I think win 8 out of 10 times against Wonder Woman. I'm just gonna tell you that right there.
More like 9 out of 10 times.
More like 9 out of 10 because his whole thing is he killed the entire Greek and Norse pantheon. Yeah, I gotta give it to Kratos.
Hawkeye and Huntress. Hawkeye.
Yeah, because Hawkeye's more of a marksman, and Huntress is not as big of a marksman as Hawkeye.
Yeah, because the thing is, Hawkeye's whole thing is he gets you from a distance. Plus, he's pretty stealthy, so
Hawkeye versus Green Arrow.
I think technically Green Arrow is more skilled, I believe.
Yeah, I would say that. Let's see. What else do you guys want to talk about? Any other topics that you guys want us to talk about? Any crossovers? Yeah, go ahead.
I got one for you.
Mm-hmm.
Bullseye versus Batman.
Okay.
Bullseye would make a great Batman villain.
Oh, he so would, because when you think about it, Daredevil is played off to be just like Batman. So there you go.
Why do you think Daredevil is one of my favorite Marvel characters?
Yeah, there you go. Why do you think the Squadron Supreme is my favorite Marvel team?
That's kind of an interesting topic. Like Marvel or DC villains gets plopped in the opposite universe. That's kind of an interesting discussion.
Okay, yeah, let's do that, because that should be really fun. Loki against Wonder Woman. That could be really fun. I could see that. I would retcon it if I were doing the crossover and it was doing now. I would retcon it that Tom King's villain, the Sovereign, is Loki the entire time and not even a big threat.
Oh, and by the way, mine is the Green Goblin pops up in Metropolis, and Lex Luthor outfits him with some kryptonite.
Because it's kind of funny in the
like his pumpkin bombs explode kryptonite. He has kryptonite blades.
Yeah, but Nick, here's the thing: in the Dark Age of Marvel, around the time when they after Civil War and they had like Siege, Norman Osborn controlled the organization known as Hammer, and he was the Iron Patriot, and he basically was the Lex Luthor of the Marvel universe in that.
Or just give him a kryptonite powered Iron Patriot suit.
Yeah, there you go. Well, in that case, that would just be Iron Man versus Superman in that case.
Oh yeah, and Tony would source himself some kryptonite and build a kryptonite powered suit.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Tony is like Batman in that he needs prep time to build the armor, and Superman showing up because we would have to assume the fight would happen without prep time.
Rebel Fox, I'm gonna put this on Daredevil, because Daredevil will hear the chambering of the round.
Yeah, and here's the thing: Deadshot is the equivalent in terms of Daredevil to Bullseye, and he would basically have to use the same tactics as Bullseye.
Because Bullseye just throws stuff at him, but Daredevil would hear the chambering of the round, like he had and he'd know, like, okay, he's about to shoot me, and he knows exactly where it's coming from, and he'd start to duck. The thing with Bullseye is he kills you with paper clips. He throws stuff at you, and it's a lot more like mid-range combat, so it's a lot harder for Daredevil to dodge it.
Remember in the Daredevil movie when Bullseye's on the plane and that old lady won't stop laughing, so he flicks a peanut in her?
More peanuts?
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Yeah.
Spider-Man versus Joker. Wait, that already happened. Oh yeah, that did. Marvel versus DC.
or like Spider-Man versus Scarecrow.
Oh, that would be fun. He gets exposed and he's fighting a zombie Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy. Why didn't you catch me, Peter? Or he fights the manifestation of his marriage. Why did you sell me to the devil? Why did you wait one more day?
Sandman as a Superman villain would be interesting.
Batman and Punisher teaming up. No, that would be Red Hood and Punisher would team up.
Yeah.
Batman would try and put the Punisher in Arkham.
More Blackgate, but yeah.
No, I would say Arkham because he would see he would essentially see the Punisher as another one of his guys.
Yeah, and the only reason he puts up with Jason is because he's a former Robin, and Batman kind of has that guilt over, and so every time Jason's like, "You let me die. Why won't you let me kill the Joker?" It's kind of an emotional blackmail that Red Hood has on him.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, we all know Batman's a hypocrite, so there you go.
I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm not gonna save you either.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what I love the Nolan movies, don't get me wrong, but that was the biggest load of BS I have ever seen
I
from
mean,
a
you know the
character that
tirade I
outwardly
went on Twitter.
said, wait, from a character that outwardly said, I don't kill.
Yeah. And I like Batman Begins. It's the only good Nolan Batman film. There, I said it.
It's the only perfect Nolan Batman film because the other ones are good, but they just go
They're
on
not.
for way too long.
They're really not. Batman Begins had soul. It had character. Like, basically, Gotham itself went from dark, seedy Gotham to Chicago.
Mhm.
And it's just, they took out all the soul, got way too glossy. Also, basically, Heath Ledger's Joker is essentially the Riddler in the movie.
Kind of. Kind of, yeah, exactly.
And like the Rachel Dawes, I don't like Katie Holmes is my Rachel Dawes.
Yeah,
Just,
I don't like I don't like the recast. I think Holmes did a better job, Katie Holmes.
yeah, like, and plus, honestly, at the end of Batman Begins, they kind of put a capstone where like they're just friends.
Yeah,
You know?
because she says, when the city no longer needs Gotham, we can be together. But she and he both know that'll never that day will never come. They'll always need Batman.
Yeah.
But Bane's
Oh my
plan
god.
and Rises makes no sense. Yeah, exactly. Kind of doesn't.
Okay, I'll give them credit for at least trying to do smart Bane. Like, so many times they just treat Bane like a brute, but he's actually one of Batman's
Bane!
Don't you freaking start.
From Batman and Robin. Yeah.
But it makes no sense. The other problem is they turned Bane into a freaking simp in that movie.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That was the other thing that they butchered was Talia, because they have a very surface understanding of Talia. Because Talia is like morally ambiguous at best, but she would never, ever, ever want to kill Bruce. She is in love with Bruce.
And also, like, you know, like killing her father. Like, she basically defeated her father's plan. I feel like, yeah, she killed her father, but on some respect, there would be like some respect there.
Yeah, and again, she would never hate Bruce or want to. She would never really want to hurt him because Nick, she calls him beloved in the comics like constantly, and the way that Britt and I actually briefly talked about this once on an episode, and the way we kind of consider it is that Talia loves Bruce, but knows she can't be with him because of his like devotion to justice.
Or they're just too different. At least, like, the thing about Batman and Catwoman is there's enough there to bridge the gap. With Talia, there's way too big of a gulf. There's you can't bridge that gap. With Batman and Catwoman, they can at least kind of meet in the middle in a sense, and that's how they make that work.
Yeah, and that's
and by the way,
it works for Batman. Yeah, what's up?
The gulf between Wonder Woman and Batman. If Talia and Batman was like a mile wide, the gulf between Batman and Wonder Woman is like 5,000 light years wide.
Yeah, I'm so. You know, it's kind of funny, and Britt and I were talking about this in our group chat today. A lot of people, when they ship Wonderbat, it's more of what she does for Bruce, not what she would get into not what she would get out of the relationship, and it mainly turns into she playing nursemaid for Bruce.
Yeah, like okay, if I'm going to be serious here, is there some attraction between? Oh, frick off. Like, is there some attraction between them? Yes. Like, is there some temptation? Probably. But I think at least in Wonder Woman's mind, she's lived long enough that every time she thinks of her and Bruce together, she thinks of eventually where it ends as her basically wiping his bum.
Well, here's the other thing, and this is why her with Clark works better, because Clark is the refutation of everything the Amazons have ever said about men. Bruce is a little more into fulfilling the vision that the Amazons had of men of being manipulative liars.
I mean, yes and no. Like, Clark is supposed to be the person who straddles the line between the lightness and the dark. Okay.
Wait, Clark?
I'm sorry, Batman is.
Old man moment.
Frick off. I wish I could curse, but I'm on your channel, so. Batman is a person who his whole stick is he straddles the light and the dark. You know, he uses evil tactics for good. You know, that's his whole MO. And while he can be manipulative, he can be a liar, he's still a good person at heart, which is why I think Wonder Woman ultimately respects him and why she may have some attraction to him. But I think in her heart, she knows it would never work.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Nick. There's a very specific storyline that at least that I'm using as reference, and that's Tower of Babel. Because here's the thing: when she voted to kick Bruce off the Justice League, not because he had contingency plans. In fact, none of the leagues of the Justice League were really that pissed that he had contingency plans. It's that he never told anyone he had contingency plans.
Okay.
And Wonder Woman was like, it's a betrayal of trust. And the thing about Wonder Woman is her whole thing is about trust and the truth. And Batman is known to twist the truth or tell lies. Yes, for the greater good, but Wonder Woman's a little bit more on the absolute of lies are never justified.
Yeah.
That's kind of why. Yeah, go ahead.
Which is why my thesis is there attraction? Yes. Is there like temptation? Yes. But do at least one of them know it'll never work? Yes.
Yeah, there you go. And then when people bring up WonderBat, they only use the DCAU version of their example, and I'm like, that's a specific and butchered version of Wonder Woman.
Even Bruce rejects Wonder Woman. Even Bruce knows it wouldn't work in that version. So it's kind of funny that, like, yes, the flirting between them is nice, and there's even some little bit of like attraction thing in the Snyder stuff. But even Snyder himself said it's fun to play with, but it never works.
Well, because here's the thing. Here's why it never bothered me in the Snyderverse, because all he was doing was playing off of Bruce, because Bruce will flirt with women. That's part of his thing. I was fine with that. It's just, and Diana really never reciprocated that. So I'm like, okay, there you go.
She did in a way, but it was never like romantic flirting. It's like, you're flirting with me here. Let me flirt back, but I'm obviously never going to sleep with you. And we both know that.
Yeah, exactly. Tavia asked, well, what are our opinions of the Sovereign storyline and Wonder Woman finally coming to an end? About freaking time. The
way that I see Bruce and Diana is it's like you have you see this one pair of friends, it's like a male and a female. They flirt with each other like crazy. And people are like, oh guys, why don't you sleep together already? But like they both like, okay, we've been down that road. We like each other. We know we never work as a couple, but we work as friends. We flirt with each other, but we know it's not going anywhere. Like we
all have had that female friend that we flirt with for fun. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Cameron says a lot of Batman fans defend him, saying if he told them they're not contingencies anymore. Actually, no, that's not true, because contingency plans don't necessarily mean secret. They just mean I have plans in the event that you guys turn evil or get mind controlled or anything like that.
Basically, I think what they meant is he didn't have to tell them exactly what they were. He just had to make them aware that he had them.
Yes, that's my point. He didn't even do that. And that's why Wonder Woman particularly was so pissed, because she said, yeah, if you told us you don't have to tell us what they are. Just tell us that you have these plans and stuff. Then it's less like it's a betrayal of trust. I do for
example, Clark knows that Superman has a kryptonite ring. He knows that
Batman has a kryptonite ring.
Yes, like Batman has a kryptonite ring.
What's going on with you tonight, Nick?
Just piss off, okay? Superman knows Batman has a kryptonite ring, and he knows the exact reason, because Clark has used that kryptonite ring on him on a couple of occasions. But the thing is, he lets it
use the ring on him.
Just stop it! Stop pointing it out, man. You're ruining my flow.
All right.
And he's used it against him on a couple of occasions. But he lets him have it because he knows ultimately he can trust him with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And by the way, Justice League Doomed had improved on the Tower of Babel storyline really well. When at the end of it, before Batman leaves, Superman goes, you mean you had all these plans for us, but you never had a contingency plan for yourself? And then Batman goes, yeah, I did. You guys. I'm like, I love that.
I actually watched this one. I think it was like a companion to like the audio, where it's like an audio Kevin Conroy listing out all the contingencies.
Yeah, I love that.
And then he lists out the one for him, and then he adds, "Only do this under dire circumstances." Like, I love that.
Exactly. Tevia asked, okay, you know what's funny? Suicide Squad killed the Justice reference Tower Babel to make the takedown of Justice. Yeah, it says Babel protocols are enacted. And I'm like, okay, that's a fun reference. Still a crappy game. Anyway, Tevia says, question. Speaking of Marvel and DC, I was wondering if the Invincible universe crossover with DC, how would the way they normally do, I think. It's like, it's basically an army of Kryptonians invading. DC has dealt with that.
Yeah, because a Viltrumite is essentially a Kryptonian exposed to the yellow sun, and we've had those before. Like, there has been like, it's basically like General Zod or other Kryptonians invading Earth, and yes, like, I'm sorry, like, Superman versus Omni-Man, Superman would win, first and foremost.
Oh, yeah.
But even if it's like an army of Viltrumites, which all are as powerful, I think some Viltrumites are actually more powerful than Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the DC universe collectively is a lot more powerful than the Invincible universe.
Yeah, because when you think about it, you have like the Justice League is mostly characters that have the powers of gods,
and even the B and C tier DC characters are pretty powerful. Whereas Invincible, the Guardians of the Globe are like, here's the thing, it's literally just the Teen Titans as the Justice League, because it's mostly made up of Teen Team, which is the Teen Titans of Invincible, and then they got the upgraded Guardians of the Globe. Like, yeah, they're powerful in the skill, but they're really kind of B or C listers as A-listers.
It's kind of funny. Even the original Guardians of the Globe, like before Omni-Man kills them, I'm like, yeah, but if that were the Justice League, Omni-Man would have been bodied by them collectively.
The only one who even gives Omni-Man trouble is the Immortal, who is
Superman.
I'd say he's more Wonder Woman power level, but still.
No, but it's still, he represents Superman in that. So I'm like, yeah, so.
Yeah, like, but other than that, the gulf between the Immortal and the rest of the pre-Guardians of the Globe, like, the fish guy is supposed to be Aquaman, is nowhere near the Aquaman's power level.
No. That's the thing. Take the original Guardians of the Globe and like supercharge them. That's the Justice League.
I mean, by a factor of 5. Because, like, look at the fight at the beginning. He pretty much takes out the rest of the Guardians in like 5 seconds. And the fight with the Immortal is really the one that lasts. The event, he kills the Immortal. It takes him a little bit of trouble. But it's really the Immortal that is a problem for him. The rest of them, he just kills without much of a sweat.
Yeah, exactly. And Wonder Woman is much more powerful and durable than War Woman was. So I'm like, yeah, that's not going to end. That's why, again, when Kirk was like, oh yeah, Omni-Man would beat Superman. And I'm like, not based on the rules of your universe, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Given how even Invincible, who is kind of more of a Superboy level power, like I think Invincible's just below Wonder Woman in terms of power, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Even he, it was more of an experience rather than power. It's like Omni-Man can be defeated if someone's powerful enough, and Superman definitely is.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Tevia said, speaking of Superman parodies, I'm wondering if Homelander, Omni-Man, Plutonian, I don't know who that is, and Superman and Brightburn all fought, who would come out on top? Not Brightburn, not Homelander, definitely not Homelander, not Omni-Man. I don't know who Plutonian. I don't know who the Plutonian is. I guess Superman. Honestly,
I mean, are we gonna put people like Icarus, Sentry into this?
If Sentry, because here's the thing about Sentry. Yes, you could defeat Sentry, but then you have to deal with the Void, which is like an evil, like essentially the Angel of Death that possesses his body.
Mm-hmm.
So But if we're dealing with just Superman on a planet that has a yellow sun, it's Superman. Because I'm convinced Homelander is not as powerful as he projects. It's all about
he's not. Because basically he was held down by 3 soups.
Yeah.
Combined. I think Homelander is probably close to Wonder Woman's level of strength.
Not even that, but I see what you're going with in that. I posted the clip, the fan edit of a Homelander versus Zack Snyder's Justice League. The number one comment I got was this is going to go very badly for Homelander.
Like, I definitely think Soldier Boy is stronger than Captain America. I definitely think that.
Well, he can do those nuclear explosion things.
Well, even if you take that away, like just strength and durability, Soldier Boy, like, because here's the thing: Cap technically is not supposed to have superpowers. Cap is technically peak human. He's on Batman's level. The MCU kind of gives super soldiers enhanced strength. Like, comic Cap would never have curled a helicopter.
Yeah, but they just wanted to do that to give Chris Evans a chance to, like, flex.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the moment, and I don't even mind having super soldiers having, like, slightly enhanced strength. That's fine. But he's not on Soldier Boy's level.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's the thing. With Homelander, it's all about the image that he projects, and in terms of, like, his, like, intimidation, that's where his true strength is. Because really, yeah, the minute he gets, like, pushed down by, like, 3 soups, I'm like, three seemingly compared to him weak soups, I'm like, yeah, there's no way that he's that powerful.
Like, as far as strength, I would say if Soldier Boy is a 4, Homelander's a 6. Superman being like a 9 or a 10. Wonder Woman would be like an 8. That's how I'd put it on the scaling wise.
I'll give you that. That's cool. Now, what other questions do you guys have before we wrap up?
Oh, Mark from basically So Evil Superman don't care.
Yeah, I'm really annoyed that every universe has to have an evil Superman.
Yeah, it's just such a stupid thing by now. Like, I get how every universe has a Superman because, like, Superman is just such a iconic paragon, like, marquee kind of character. So having, like, a good character as, like, having your Superman, I get it. Like, that I'm going to defend.
But does he always have to be evil?
Oh no! Like, I'm thinking he should be good more often than not. It's just a whole negative of, like, tear down your heroes kind of thing, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's really annoying, and it's honestly at this point it just perpetuates the whole thing, the whole misconception that Superman is this close to turning into a psychopath.
I mean, he's really not.
Are there any parodies of Superman who aren't evil? Well, let's see. There is
tons of them. I think the Superman from The Tick is not evil. He's just kind of an idiot.
Hyperion. It depends on the version of Hyperion. I'm going to tell you that right there. Depends on the version. Technically Thor, because actually when Stan Lee created the comic version of Thor, he basically was saying, we need our version of Superman.
Icarus, because Eternals did Icarus dirty, by the way.
Yeah, that movie was like, first off, by the way, half the cast is gender bent because, by the way, Ajak and Makari are supposed to be dudes, and you're telling me that Kingo's powers are just finger guns? That's really stupid. Plus, yeah, also evil, that doesn't happen. Go ahead.
Icon, we gotta talk about Icon.
Icon is good. Yeah, exactly. Would Orion technically count?
Highfather son.
Highfather son. That, well, technically Darkseid son, but yes.
I would have Invincible count.
Invincible's more on the. I guess you could kind of say Invincible. And Omni-Man turns good. If you read the comics, Omni-Man, because he has an arc where he turns good.
What about this this one from this this comic book? It hasn't come out yet. Atlas.
Oh yeah, he's very much a good Superman. He's more on the line.
I actually hear he has good taste in women too.
Yes, exactly. Oh, he does. Trust me, he does.
Sorry, I had to give you some promo.
Yes, thank you. I would have to go with, in terms of another, like, well, technically, let me see. There are a few of them, but really, yeah, there are a bunch of characters that are like Superman but are good. So I'm gonna do that.
Hyperion, Gladiator. I'm sorry, I'm looking up Superman clones right now.
Yeah, Hyperion. It depends on the version. Gladiator sometimes. Conan counts. You know, it's funny. He's with he dates the Wonder Woman of that universe, Red Sonja.
What about Blue Marvel?
Yeah. Oh, you know who else is? There's a Jupiter's Legacy. They have a Superman character in them. That
Netflix show is so underrated.
The Netflix show is actually really good. I enjoyed it. But him and by the way, so it's kind of funny. Britt and I did an episode on like other companies like Superman and Wonder Woman characters. Every single time other companies put the Superman and the Wonder Woman characters together.
Oh, Jared, have you ever covered Doc Savage?
No.
You know he's the inspiration for Superman, right?
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah, since that's a big Superman focused channel, I think you should cover some of his stories, or at least do like a deep dive on
Maybe, because I don't know if that would really work well for like search engine optimization.
All right,
besides Superman parodies, I'm just curious if there are any Batman parodies who technically are evil or good. There's a lot of
Owlman. I mean, if you want to talk about Batman parody, you guys have been staring at one for the last hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly. There is Screecher. There you go. I was about to bring that up.
Yeah, but she's not evil. She's not evil though, so she's good.
Yet. I'm only kidding.
Oh God.
Spawn. You can't tell me that Tom McFarlane did not base Spawn on Batman. I got a Superman character, Spartan from the Wildcats.
John Carter, also Superman inspiration. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can definitely see it because like John Carter was like the man who leaps. I remember Superman was like the man who could leap tall buildings single bound. So I think it's impossible that John Carter didn't influence Superman at least a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. But yeah, in terms of like anything else, so let's start wrapping up. So Nick, where can we find you and what have you got coming on your channel? All
right, so tomorrow we'll be doing a Comics Watch. I'll have this handsome gentleman over here along with you held your beard out. That was funny. We're talking about, does death in comics even matter anymore?
The answer is no.
Well, we'll elaborate on it tomorrow, and then Tuesday I'll be streaming some Chrono Trigger. For the Friday Night Frenzy, we're covering the Flintstones, and Saturday I'm continuing my adventures in Arkham City.
Yeah, and hope you guys enjoy this. So be sure to check out tomorrow where I release Super Wonder Legacy episode 59, where Britt and I discuss Christopher Reeve Superman and Linda Carter Wonder Woman if they cross over. And technically they did in an episode of Wonder Woman. When you look at like so there's a character, Nick, in an episode of Wonder Woman where he's an invulnerable dude that like is bulletproof. And at one point he's talking to Wonder Woman and then she goes, "You should join the circus as the Man of Steel." And he goes, "Oh, you think I should wear a cape and tights?" And then Wonder Woman goes, "I think you could pull it off." And it's a dude that looks like Christopher Reeve.
Oh,
that's really funny on that. So stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs to General Zod. Zois and Max about for life. I will see you later.